Johnson.
What the hell happened?
You were talking stuff about my Jay on the promo yesterday.
Yes, I was.
And so you know what I do to you. I'm going to teach you about this town. I know business. I know how to win, but I did it my way. If Magic Johnson is in that seat, guys are going to want to come back.
Yeah, they are. And when Magic Johnson is in that seat, he brings smiles and good energy and greatness to the show. And Magic, it's been kind of a heavy show, and I need that right now. I see Stephen A. Why are you eyeing him like that, Stephen A?
Molly, you know, I mean, as y'all know, I mean, I have been spending a little extra time in L.A., in La, you know, and I've been a lot of places. I mean, I have scoured the City of Angels. I have never been at Magic
Lord.
Johnson Enterprises. I see that I got to make a trip over to Magic Johnson Enterprises. I got to see. I've heard a lot about Magic Johnson Enterprises. I got to see it. For myself. That's all I'm trying to say. I got to be there.
See, big time in the flesh.
I'm just
where
saying.
they print money.
I'm just saying.
Show
I'm just
you how
coming
it's
by
really
there.
done.
I'm going to come by there and drop
Show you
off
how
lunch
to
for you,
do
Magic.
this.
I'm going to drop
The
off lunch for you.
blueprint.
I'm just going to come by.
Hey, Molly, he made me get up early. You know, he called me. Hey, I need you on the show. Okay. So I usually get up at 4:30.
Yeah.
So I got up at 3:30 this morning. Had to stretch, get on the treadmill for an hour, run, change, jump in my suit, and come on the show. So, Stephen A., and when you come to L.A., I got you for dinner, brother. That's on me.
No doubt.
All right.
No doubt. I'm coming.
Bless you.
I'm coming
Dear
to the
friend of the show,
Enterprise.
we appreciate you doing that. Hold on, Magic. I got to ask you about LeBron, but I just need to ask you this really quickly because I'm very into morning routines and how successful people, I love all this stuff. So you wake up at 4:30 every day. Just give me the morning routine real quick, and then we'll get to the Lakers.
Every morning, 4:30, stretch at 5, usually about 5 to 5:30, and then I'm on the treadmill, and then I lift weights for an hour. Hour on the treadmill, and then I lift weights, and then I'm in the office all day. You know, that's my routine. But I do take 30 minutes of me time, too. And you should be still for about 30 minutes to just get into your routine in terms of what you have to do that day. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
4:30. Is that because you're on
I
the
love
West
that.
Coast?
All
You're doing
successful
business
people
on the
stick
East
to a
Coast?
routine.
4:30.
Well, listen.
I know.
The sun is shining. The sun
unbelievable.
is
I need
shining.
to get my
But I
life
will
together.
say, Magic take that 30 minutes for himself. Me, when I get those 30 minutes, I'm usually watching General Hospital. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
Oh, my
time for
goodness.
That's just me. I'm just saying. Let's go.
You need to go inward, Stephen A. Meditate like a Buddhist. All right, Magic. Producers are going to kill me. Let me stay focused because we got serious news with your Lakers. Obviously, we had AD out with the calf. He's still out. And now LeBron, we're hearing maybe a month. High ankle sprains can be very serious. Where's your level of confidence in terms of the team keeping it together with all these injuries and not getting too far behind in the West?
Well, Molly, it's going to be tough because we got a tough schedule, and the West is so good that the problem is you're taking out both of our best two not only their superstars, but they're our best two scorers, and they also are best two creators for getting shots for other guys. So that becomes an issue for the team. They will play hard. Coach Vogel is a great coach. The guys will come out and compete, but the problem, the West is just so good. And so we saw that the other night against Phoenix. The Lakers just didn't have enough firepower to beat them. And that's going to be our issue until AD and LeBron comes back. And I hope that they don't penalize LeBron in terms of the MVP. The same thing I hope they don't do for Joe Embiid. These two players have been dominant all season long. And I hope they don't be out too long so that they can, compete for that MVP race as well.
Last year, there was this big time show on ESPN. It was called Sports Center with Stephen A., Will Bond, and Magic Johnson. That's where it was a big time show, okay? And during that show, I saw Irvin Magic Johnson that was never, ever nervous at all about the Lakers last year. He was very confident they were going to win the chip. I don't sense that same level of confidence this year, Magic Johnson. Is it true you're a little bit nervous about this year's team? And if so, specifically, why would that be, sir?
Well, I'm nervous because, when you have, AD and LeBron out with injuries, that is a cause of concern. And then I'm concerned about the middle, too. We are not very good at shot blocking, the things we used to be good at with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. We can't close the middle down this year. We don't have that type of length on our team. So I hope that during this trade deadline, or if somebody get bought out, that we can, solve that issue. But it's going to be tough for any team to beat the Lakers if they're healthy 4 times in a playoff series. It's just going to be tough. So I still believe in the Lakers, but the Lakers have competition this year that they didn't have last season. And we looking at the West with Utah, with Denver, the Clippers. I think it's still going to come down to the Clippers and the Lakers for the West. And then I give Milwaukee some credit. That picking up P.J. Tucker from Houston, that trade it's really going to help them in the playoff. And Trevor Ariza going to Miami, that's going to help them too. So let's see what Philly ends up doing in the trade deadline, because Milwaukee is a better team right now, and that fourth quarter small team is going to be a lot better with P.J. Tucker.
Magic, there was some sad news yesterday. So many Lakers greats, you and Kareem, Kobe, and Shaq, Wilt, and so many players. And among the greats, the greatest players who ever lived, Elgin Baylor, who passed yesterday. Do you have any thoughts on Elgin?
Well, Max, you know that Elgin was the first Laker and Los Angeles Lakers superstar, right? We know that George Mikan was in Minnesota, but when it comes to Los Angeles, and you think about Showtime, and you think about somebody with the creativity, the hang time, he was actually Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. He was Dr. J before Dr. J. And let's remember this, Max. This dude scored 60 points in the NBA Finals, and it still holds the record for NBA Finals most points scored in a game. 60 against the Celtics.
Unreal.
And also, Molly, he scored 70 in a regular season game. I mean, when you think about
My goodness.
Hall of Famer and superstar, it's Elgin Baylor, and he's still up under the radar. He should get more notoriety than he's getting, and we want to say rest in peace to this Hall of Famer, and also we're praying for his wife and his kids as well.
We all echo those sentiments, Magic.
Of course.
I want to switch to a different subject in regards to the Clippers. And the only reason I say that is because Elgin Baylor served as a general manager for the Clippers for over 20 years. When you talk about the Clippers, obviously I think that, and I've said this on many, many occasions, when we talk about superstars, it's not just about your talent. It's about your ability to lead, to galvanize the troops around you for one common goal, and to milk out of them all that they have. I don't believe that Kawhi Leonard is held accountable enough for that since he's arrived in L.A. He arrived in L.A., had the commercials with the crown dangling from his mirror, giving LeBron indication it's a new day, here I come, as the reigning champion and NBA Finals MVP. Then they didn't get it done in the semifinals last year. This year, we're looking at them some expectations. I sort of feel like Kawhi owes it to us to have that confrontation. Him against LeBron, both in L.A., the battle for L.A. How do you feel about that, sir?
Well, Stephen A., let's look at the past, right?
Okay.
San Antonio, he had Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. They were the two leaders. Then let's go to Toronto. Kyle Lowry was the leader of the Raptors when they went for the championship. He always had a dominant point guard that was the leader of the team. And that's what he needs today. Listen, Kawhi is still a superstar. He's still one of the best top 10 players in the league. But we're asking him to do something that he's not used to doing. We still want him to go out and score 25 to 30 points. We still want him to lock down the opponent's best player. But now you're saying be a leader too?
Yes.
It's not in his DNA. It's not in his DNA. So what the Clippers must do, they got to get somebody to play that role and let him just be Kawhi. Let Paul George just be Paul George. because neither one of them are comfortable playing that role of
Magic,
leader.
you're a point guard. Pick one. Kyle Lowry or Lonzo Ball? Which one do they need? That's right. Answer the question, point guard extraordinaire. Give it to me. Kyle Lowry or Lonzo Ball for the Clippers? Which one should they get?
Well, let's put it like this. Kyle Lowry has already done that, right? He's already been a champion, so he'll know what to do in those moments, in those situations. Now, but I will tell you this. If they don't get Lonzo Ball, the New York Knicks better jump on that.
No!
Lonzo's the real deal.
Yes.
No!
Yes.
The New York Knicks. I thought you'd like that, Stephen A. That's your team.
I want a point guard that can shoot.
He's shooting 38% from three.
No.
Let me listen to Magic. Go ahead, Magic.
Stephen A., you missing the point. Julius Randle has been dominant.
Yes.
And they got some young guys who can get up and down the court. The problem is you don't have a point guard pushing that rock to create shots for the other guys. That's what Lonzo does best. He'll speed up the game. You know what the Knicks' problem is? They don't get easy baskets. They don't get easy layups. Everything is a half-court grind. If you're going to win, especially in the playoff, you got to get easy buckets.
I agree with that, but he's not aggressive.
Specializes in.
In the interest of full disclosure, you and I, we boys, you and I got into one argument in all the years we've known each other. And what was that argument, Magic? I said, no, love, don't get Lonzo, get De'Aaron Fox. You know how I feel about that. He lacks aggression. He can play, but he lacks aggression. He's not his brother. He's not LaMelo. He's just getting more aggressive.
That's right.
He's not there.
That's right. I'm agreeing with you. He is not LaMelo, but look what he's doing this year. He's having his best season, and he stayed healthy. The reason Lonzo Ball couldn't reach his potential, he was always hurt. But right now, he's played all season, and he's having a career season. The Knicks need a point guard who can push that basketball. Watch what happens. If they pull that trade off, they're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs.
He's also only 23.
I prefer if they got somebody like Zach LaVine, but I don't see that
Stephen A.,
happening.
he's also only 23 years old. Magic, what I want to know...
I'm flying to L.A. to see him. I'm flying to L.A. for Magic. We don't talk about this.
Stephen A. brings this up all the time, Magic. If you had to redo that draft, would you have taken De'Aaron Fox, who gave it to Lonzo in the tournament, or would you have stayed, given the way Lonzo has developed, was that in retrospect the right pick?
Okay, we know that if you look at their careers, Fox has played better. I give you that. No question about it. I'm not going to take that away from De'Aaron Fox. I'm a fan of his. But at the same time, we needed a leader in not only on the court, but in the locker room. If he hadn't been hurt, 2 years in a row, he didn't play a full season. And that hurt Lonzo. He needed to play basketball, but he couldn't. So, at the same time, let's see what happens in the next 5 or 6 years. I really think he's on an upward tick. I think Lonzo is going to reach his potential. Yes, De'Aaron Fox has exploded. He's played great. Matter of fact, I was hoping he would make the All-Star team this year because he's played great. But I'm still a Lonzo Ball fan, and I'm going to tell you this. There's no guard in this league, point guard, whose basketball IQ is higher than Lonzo Ball. The IQ of Lonzo Ball is off the chart.
You can argue with Magic Johnson about basketball IQ with
What's
point guard.
wrong with you, Stephen A?
I dare you to argue with Magic Johnson about basketball point guard IQ, Stephen A. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on, Stephen A. Try to defend yourself. It's one of the greatest
I can't do that. I can't do that. He makes valid points, okay? He makes valid points. He's Magic Johnson, damn it. But still, Magic, look, man, I'm not going to question the IQ. I know Lonzo is smart. I know that he's a pure point guard. My question is, when I'm questioning your assertiveness, your aggression, and your shot, I don't need you at Madison Square Garden.
Why are you questioning his shot? He's hitting shots.
Stop it. He shoots 42% for the field. Yeah, 38% for three-point range.
38% taking 7 in the game.
Go ahead, Magic.
Let me make this point. Thibodeau needs two things, right? He demands, first of all, defense and a good teammate. You play hard every single night and be a good
Yes.
teammate. That's what Lonzo Ball brings to the table. He's one of the best at deflections in all the NBA. When he was with the Lakers, he always were in the top 5 in deflections. He's one of the solid defenders in our league. And then last but not least, Stephen A., he's gotten better offensively. If he went to the Apple with that pressure and how LaMelo is playing, I think he's going to take his
Excuse
game
me.
to a whole nother level.
The pressure on Tinseltown and the bright lights with Jack this court side was one of the reasons he wasn't looking so great in LA.
No. Let's be honest. When LeBron got hurt, Magic, tell him. When LeBron got hurt, actually, the team was still functioning until Lonzo went out. That's when it fell apart.
I'm trying to tell Stephen A. He's looking at the offensive numbers too much. Yes, Darren Fox is going to always score more than Lonzo Ball. That is not Lonzo's role. It's to score. But his all-around game is just as good as Darren Fox's all-around game.
I got him. See, Magic, here's the deal. Because when Magic, even though Magic could slow the ball up and what have you, what did Magic personify? Showtime. Magic could pass. Magic's greatest pass in NBA history, greatest point guard in NBA history. But you fueled an offense. You didn't benefit from dudes playing the right way and just, okay, as a result, I'll get mine. No, you fueled it. You were the straw that stirred the cup. That's what we need from the point guard position. You can't tell me that's Lonzo. I respect this game. He's not a scrub. And I'm not saying he doesn't belong in the NBA, but y'all acting like this dude is the missing piece, like the second coming or something. What's going on, Magic?
No,
What's going on?
you got it wrong. Listen, the Knicks are building something.
Yes.
They're taking step by step by step.
I agree with that.
And you have to do that with young basketball players. Julius Randle is a young, emerging superstar, right? And so you need young guys with him. Now, Lonzo Ball already knows how to play with Julius Randle because they did that with the Lakers. So actually, it would be a
And they were
good
babies.
Really?
move
Yeah,
for
they
the
were
Knicks.
babies.
See, they just didn't know how to play. They didn't know how to work out. They didn't understand the time that they needed to put into the game. Look at what Julius did. He can now shoot from the three-point line. He couldn't do that with the Lakers, but he put the time in. That's why he made the All-Star team this year. And so we had a lot of babies at that time. Look what Jordan Clarkson is doing now for Utah Jazz. He's going to win the Sixth Man of the Year award. The things he could do now, he couldn't do when he was with the Lakers. So guys do improve. Hey, and the last guy, look at what happened with man, I'm thinking about his name. I'm forgetting his name.
Brandon
Ingram.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram. Look what happened to him when he left Los Angeles. He matured, and now look, he's an
You know what the
all-star
problem is,
now.
Magic? You know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? You spoiled Stephen A. He expects every 19-year-old rookie to come out and drop 40 in the finals and be the MVP of the finals. Will you stop it? These were babies when Magic drafted them. 19, 20 years old. Not everyone's Magic Johnson.
Don't judge a boxing.
You hear Magic? You hear he's mad because Lonzo Ball's not Magic Johnson.
Magic, let me get to that. I'll be at Magic Johnson Enterprises to talk to you about this next week. But before I go, let me ask you this question. The Brooklyn Nets, I got them as the favorites. I got Brooklyn as the favorites coming out of the East. Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. At least we agree on something.
Listen, you got three of the most dominant scorers we have in the game today, and their basketball IQ ranks right there with LeBron and anybody else in in the top 10 of the league. Then you have guys who can get their own shot. You can just pass it to Kevin Durant, who I think is, Kevin is the probably most dominant offensive player we've seen maybe in our lifetime. Not as much as Jordan, but right there with Jordan, right there with Kobe. But man, and then you throw in Kyrie, who is, just unstoppable. And then James Harden, to me, is playing the best basketball I've ever seen James Harden play. Because he's playing winning championship basketball. And I hope that the voters for the MVP don't penalize him for coming to the team late, because that man is playing off the charts.
Would you have them beating the Lakers if they met in the finals?
I'm sorry.
Would you have them beating the Lakers if they met LeBron and AD in the finals?
Man, I'm a Laker. I'm always roll with the Lakers. You know that. I can't.
There's 3 of those dudes in Brooklyn, only 2 in LA.
Never. I don't care if I think they're going to lose. I'm going to always go with the Lakers. And I would never bet against LeBron James. I can't bet against LeBron James. I can't.
Let me ask you this real quick, Magic, before we let you go. I love messing with Stephen A. You know, Hollywood Steve. Now he's out there in L.A. He's bi-coastal. He's bought like 8 houses this year. He's got like 8 shows. He's just living his best life, you know, and I'm proud of him. He works hard. He deserves it. But I love messing with him that he's not going to be in L.A. He's going to be in Salt Lake City, salty and mad when Denver makes it there. So because of that, tell me this. We asked everybody this at home. It was our poll question day. Who do you think under the most pressure when they return? Is it more on AD or LeBron so that Stephen A. doesn't end up in Salt Lake City?
No, it's not one or the other. They're both under pressure, right? And you think about, listen, when you play in Los Angeles and you play for the Lakers, you're under pressure because we expect championships. So they're both under pressure to win it again. We want to see them repeat. I don't say it's more pressure on LeBron or more pressure on AD. We want them both healthy and both ready for the playoff. Because again, and I want to say this again, Utah, Phoenix, Denver, the Clippers, at Dallas, whoever plays Dallas in that first round in Portland, I tell you what, Damian Lillard, wow, man, he's playing off the charts. He can win the MVP as well. So when you think about
Wild
1 through 8 in the West, it's going to be tough. They're tough.
Let me tell y'all something.
Stephen A's heading to Salt Lake City.
COVID-19 took away Miami, LA in the finals last year. We could have been in both cities. They took that from me, okay? COVID-19 took that from me. If I have to end up going to Utah, I might not speak to y'all again. I might not speak to any of y'all again, especially you, Molly. I might not speak to y'all.
Stephen A. will enjoy a nice root beer in Salt Lake City. Throw back a root beer or 2 in Salt Lake City, Stephen A., you'd be good.
Now, Salt Lake City is a very beautiful city.
Throw up some
and the people there are beautiful, but damn it.
I love that backcourt, Conley and Mitchell, man. I tell you. And then they got 2 shooters, Joe Engels and Bogdanovich. I hope I said it right.
Yeah, Bogdanovich, yep.
And then you think about the big boy holding it down in the middle. That team, and they got a great coach. So this is going to be the most exciting playoffs we've had in some time in the NBA because those teams are strong and they can win. And don't count Phoenix out. Chris Paul, listen.
I'm making my reservations. I'm making my reservations for Magic Johnson Enterprises right now. We got some talking to do.
Get your ID.
I'll see you soon.
We got some talking to do first. All right.
Hey,
I'll leave you with this.
Molly, tell Jalen good luck. University of Michigan got to hold it down for the Big Ten. Because all the other teams lost.
Okay, Sparty. I'm sure you're really rooting for Michigan there, Mr. Michigan State, bleeding green and the purple and gold. Yeah, Florida State's going to be tough.
Root for the Big Ten.
Okay. Well, the Big Ten's been stinking it up lately. They get there, and then they can't hold it down. All right, so Stephen A., if you ever want Stephen A. Smith Enterprises, 4:30 a.m. is the wake-up time. Get on that.
That's when I get up for first take
always
out
a pleasure.
there.
Thanks
That's what time I get up for first take out there.
Yeah.
4:30.
Okay.
That's when the call starts, brother. 4:30. You get up right when the call starts.
I'm rolling the Magic Johnson Enterprises. I'll see you soon, bro. I'll see you soon. You got some explaining to do.
I want to stay with the Nets. You too, who Magic said he expects in the East, hopefully, here. So Kyrie Irving will miss the next 3 games due to a family matter. He's already been in and out of the lineup this season. Irving missed 2 weeks in January for a personal absence, which was further delayed by him breaking COVID-19 protocols. Today also marks Kyrie's 29th birthday. Happy birthday, Kyrie. I think he's an Aries. So let's talk about the Nets star. Max is really concerned about his zodiac sign, so he's happy that I gave that information. Max, tell me this. Will the Nets' big 3 be better for Kyrie's career than his years with LeBron?
Yes, I do think so, because with LeBron is such an overwhelming talent, and Kyrie was still coming up, that it was not, obviously LeBron needed a crime partner, and Kyrie is extremely talented. But especially given what happened, the way it ended, and how Kyrie looked in Boston after that, and then even in Brooklyn before these other guys arrived, he looked like a spectacular talent that couldn't win without LeBron, that couldn't be a part of a winning nucleus as a leader without LeBron. But what he is showing this year and what he has shown is that, sure, you want me to share the ball in the backcourt with another dominant, on ball, ball dominant scorer, facilitator, whatever? Yep, can do that in the service of winning. Already, his reputation is different because of the kind of understanding he and James Harden and the way they've been able to play in that backcourt together. And Kyrie has always been the best show in the game, basically. But now he's the best show in the game in the service of winning, and that's without KD. I think when this is all said and done, Brooklyn's going to be even better for him than Cleveland was.
It's hard to refute that because I can see him winning more championships in Brooklyn than he won in Cleveland. But it remains to be seen, and I'll tell you why. We rave about LeBron arguably acknowledging that his greatest title was coming back from a 3-1 deficit as a Cleveland Cavalier to knock off the Golden State Warriors. Well, who was his sidekick? It was Kyrie Irving.
Ballin'.
Who hit the game-winning shot over Steph Curry? It was Kyrie Irving. Who did it in the Game 7? It was Kyrie Irving. Who averaged about 27 that series? It was Kyrie Irving. So it's pretty hard to eclipse that, particularly when you're the guy that closed the deal. Whereas we can imagine James Harden or Kevin Durant doing it for them in Brooklyn. Here's the one thing I want to say about Kyrie. Kyrie is box office. He is absolutely sensational. I think he is the best show in basketball. These games, and listen, I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't ask. I don't care as long as his family is okay and he's well, I wish them nothing but the best. But this is a guy that played 20 games last year. This is a guy that took 2 weeks off this season. This is a guy that missed games thereafter. At some point in time, it's like, again, we look at LeBron, 36 years of your age, 18th season, trying to play every game. And every now and then, there's something that happens with Kyrie that reminds you that basketball doesn't appear to be the priority. It should be. It's paid for him to be. It's paid to him to be, or that he should want it to be. And so, obviously, it's the regular season. It's not a big deal. But you're always sitting back and saying, okay, what's going to be next? What's going to happen next? And when is it going to happen? You imagine that it won't happen during the postseason because now the priority gets elevated and you understand it. But with him, you never know.
Well, I will say
that's all I'm saying is that's what it is. It's like, again, I had something was trending on social media last night, Max, because somebody sent me a tweet about Kyrie. Are we ready to say Kyrie better than AI? I said, yeah, better shooter, better ball handler, better scorer. Kyrie is sensational, but he wasn't more dependable. You didn't carry a franchise on your shoulders for a decade. At some point in time, it matters.
We're evaluating Kyrie as a basketball player.
Yes.
So sometimes your evaluation as a human being can interfere with your evaluation as a basketball player.
Only because of your availability.
Anyone.
That's it.
And I would never criticize someone as a human being for paying attention to their family before their career.
Absolutely.
And nevertheless, when we evaluate their career, we got to take that into account. I'll just say that this Kyrie Irving that we've seen so far this year, he knew he had to get away from LeBron so he could prove himself in a different way. He's doing it so far.
He's doing it. He's been unselfish. He's been incredible on the basketball court. Again, the best show in the NBA. But on a couple of occasions, he's left us wondering what's next. And you cannot have that come playoff time.
He's been the best show. He's now also a winner in a different kind of way.
He's a winner. He's the best show. We just got to hope that continues into the postseason.
I hope everything's okay with him and his family. Obviously, that comes first.
Best wishes.
By the way, Ray Lewis is going to be here tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. The Hall of Famer Stipe Miocic and Stephen A. Looks like the Lonzo Ball should be headed to the Knicks, so that's good for you too.